You ever see a woman walk into a clinic just to protect the life growing inside her, only to walk out with her dignity bruised and the whole place flipped upside down? Yeah, that happened. And the wildest part? It started with a clipboard and ended with a federal badge slamming down harder than any gavel ever could. Let me take you back. It was a quiet spring morning in Savannah, Georgia. That soft kind of morning where the light filters through the trees like it's got all the time in the world. And outside Magnolia Grove Women's Center, a pristine white glass building that smelled like roses and overpriced hand sanitizer, stood a woman named Maya Thompson. 6 months pregnant, beautiful in that sacred, glowing kind of way. She had on a simple blue maternity dress, nothing flashy, just enough to breathe. One hand rested on her belly. The other held a worn-out tote that had seen better days. Maya wasn't here to impress. She was here for her baby, her first 4D scan. A moment she'd been waiting weeks for. Her husband, Andre, had promised he'd meet her there by 10:30. Said something came up at the civil rights office, but he'd be there. He always kept his word. But as Maya walked in alone, something shifted. It wasn't loud, no one shouted, no alarms rang, but it was there, quiet and suffocating, the kind of silence that knows how to cut without ever raising its voice. She stepped up to the front desk, offered a smile. "Good morning, Maya Thompson. I have a 10:30 with Dr. Ramsey." The receptionist barely looked up. Blonde, mid-20s, chewing her gum like she hated her job and everyone in it. Her eyes flicked up, then down, then narrowed like Maya had mispronounced her own name. "You sure that's today?" she asked. Maya nodded. "Confirmed it last night." A clipboard slid across the counter with the enthusiasm of a DMV worker on a Friday. No greeting, no warmth, just paper. Maya took the clipboard and sat down, the air already thick with judgment. Designer purses clutched tighter. A man 2 chairs down scooted over like pregnancy was contagious. Nobody said anything, but their eyes said everything. She kept her head down, filling out the forms with hands that trembled just enough to feel like betrayal. She tried to focus on her baby, on the sound of her breath, on Andre's voice in her head saying, "I got you, always." Her name was called. No smile from the nurse, no congratulations, no kindness. Just scrubs and cold shoes clicking down a hallway that smelled like bleach and lavender. They stopped at exam room 4C. "The doctor will be with you shortly," the nurse muttered, shutting the door before Maya could say thanks. She sat there, alone, watching the second hand on the wall clock twitch its way toward 10:45. Then the door opened, and in walked Dr. Allison Ramsey. Blonde, sharp-eyed, and stiff-backed like she was auditioning for a villain in a hospital drama. No handshake, no "how are you feeling," not even a smile, just eyes, cold and calculating. "So, you're Maya Thompson?" Maya sat up a little straighter. "Yes, I believe we're doing the 4D scan today." "You came alone," the doctor cut in, looking her over like she was a stain on her own clinic floor. "My husband's on his way," Maya answered, trying to keep her tone calm even though her heart had already started to pound. A smirk curled across the doctor's lips. "Sure he is. Or maybe he just figured he'd had enough this morning. That's usually how these things go, isn't it?" Maya blinked. "I'm sorry. What?" Dr. Ramsey turned to the counter, fussing with papers she clearly didn't need to touch. "This is a private facility," she said. "We don't typically cater to walk-ins from the Greyhound crowd." Now, Maya stood. "I made this appointment 2 weeks ago. I called to confirm it. I came here respectfully." The doctor stepped in close, too close. "And you people are always respectful when you want something, until the drama starts. Not today." Then she paused, tilted her head. "Actually, I just noticed my Cartier watch is missing. Strange. I left it right here." Maya's blood ran cold, and then came the words that hit like a punch to the gut. "Security will be here shortly." The door slammed shut. She stood frozen for a beat, then scrambled for her phone. But it was too late. Heavy footsteps down the hall. 2 white security guards walked in, one older and tired-looking, the other young, thick-necked, chewing gum like he owned the place. "You need to come with us, ma'am." "I'm pregnant. I haven't taken anything. This is a mistake. We'll sort it out downstairs." And just like that, she was led out the back, through corridors not meant for patients. past locked doors, into a gray, windowless security room that smelled like metal and sweat. Sit. She lowered herself into a hard plastic chair, fingers trembling over her belly. I need to call my husband, she whispered. No phones. They took it anyway. You're not under arrest, the older one said, but you are being detained for investigation. Detained. For showing up pregnant and black and alone. Time dragged like a nightmare. The lights buzzed overhead. No questions, no proof, just silence. And then, click, click, click. Footsteps. Measured. Calm, but full of warning. The door opened, and there he was. Andre Thompson. Tall, dark suit, DOJ lapel pin catching the light just right. Calm, collected, and absolutely furious. He walked in like the room belonged to him. Maya gasped. Andre! I'm here, he said, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. Then he turned. I want the name of the person who ordered this detainment, the report that justified it, and access to all surveillance footage involving my wife. Right, now. The guards froze. We were just following protocol, the older one muttered. Andre didn't blink. Your protocol is about to be reviewed by the Civil Rights Enforcement Division of the Department of Justice, unless you'd like obstruction added to your paperwork. The sweat started showing, the keyboard clattered, and on screen, the footage began to roll. 10:52 a.m. Maya sitting quietly. 10:54 a.m. A janitor steps in, touches the counter, leaves. 10:59 a.m. Watch still there. And then, static. Andre leaned in. Where's the rest? Camera swap, the guard stammered. Blind spot. How convenient. Andre didn't raise his voice, but the weight of his authority filled the room like a hurricane about to land. Maya stood beside him now, taller than before. I want to go upstairs, she said softly. I want to see that doctor again. Let's go, he nodded. They rode the elevator to the top floor. When the doors opened, every head in that hallway turned, every breath held. And in the boardroom sat Dr. Ramsey, arms crossed, lips tight, confidence fading fast. Andre introduced himself, badge and all. Then Maya sat down across from the doctor and spoke, not with rage, but with truth. You looked at me and saw a stereotype. You didn't see a mother, a teacher, a woman. You saw a problem to remove, and you humiliated me for walking in here without a man. The board was silent. Andre added the terms: public apology, civil rights inquiry, anti-bias training, and Dr. Ramsey's immediate suspension. No one argued. The doctor stood, knocked over her chair, and walked out, alone. Days later, the clinic released a statement, apologized publicly, agreed to policy reviews. But the real statement? That came from Maya. At a local community meeting, she stood before a crowd and said, "This isn't just about me. It's about every black woman who walks into a room and is assumed to be less. It's about systems that protect the ones who harm and silence the ones who cry out. But we're done being silent." The crowd didn't clap loudly. They stood, silent thunder, and as the sun broke through the clouds overhead, Andre placed a hand on Maya's back, steady, proud, unshakable. Now here's the thing. Some folks called it justice. Others called it a headline. But what do you call it? Was it enough? Or is it just the start of something bigger? Let us know what you think in the comments, because stories like this aren't just stories. They're warnings, and maybe, just maybe, a wake-up call.